everyone that's here in Zoom and in Second Life and on the live stream. Welcome to our session of VW MOOC 25 today. I'm here with Val. We're going to take you on a special meeting at the NPC, tell you a little bit more about it before we go and have some fun. So Val?
Yes. Hi. Let me just
Can you add maybe your camera?
Yes, sure. Hi there, Nellie. Here we are at the NPC in Second Life, and I'll zoom in just to show you their space here, the Nonprofit Commons. And the leader of the Nonprofit Commons, Rhiannon Chat Noir, is about to open up in the live meeting in chat. So if you see here on the left side of the screen, this is the chat, where people can tell where they're located in the physical world, a little bit about themselves. This first half hour of the meeting is only introductions, announcements, updates, just a networking time. And then at 9 o'clock, we will head to our featured presentation, which is Summer Splash Party. And it's at the Virtual Education Journal. So you see here a cross-community gathering. Many educational communities gather together and they'll celebrate at this summer party. And many educational communities and nonprofits meet right here every Friday in Second Life. So I'll cam out and show you. The Nonprofit Commons is a whole sim or region filled with a variety of nonprofits who have offices here. For example, I see Avicon. Joyce Betancourt has a space called Avicon, and she's the leader of the Nonprofit Commons. We also have a lot of other nonprofits here, as well as the Community Virtual Libraries Nonprofit Resource Library, which shares resources and information to help nonprofits. So there's a little bit about NPC. And you can see I'll pan in on the group today that's meeting here. I'm keeping the names on just so you can see on camera the names hovering above the avatars to show that they are real live people embodied as an avatar here to network through a computer simulation, which is a real place. These people meet every Friday and have real memories of being together in this real yet virtual space. So here's a few of the people that are gathering today. I do like to point out that above them is their name. And as AI is evolving, there are AI bots that look very similar to these avatars. And I find that a little bit of a concern. We want to make sure we understand who is a real person and who is a non-human agent. And so I've been talking a lot about that lately.
So how would you know the difference, Val?
Well, that's the trouble. What I do, my daughter's researching AI, and she clearly put above the bot non-human agent. There should be a clear designation. But recently, when we went to that on the MOOC to the Cave of Lascaux, I really could not tell those bots from the human avatars. I couldn't tell the difference.
That's true.
So I'm going to be talking that they looked, they talked, they moved. I couldn't tell which one was which. So I really want to talk with them because I find that could be a real concern for people in the future. So, but technology gets bumpy and I can't control that. But, I can promote digital citizenship, and digital identity is the foundation of it. And if we don't know if you're a human or not, what's your digital identity? I really want to talk to those that did that presentation, just so they can think about it.
Good point. I think things should be transparent. And that's what, for example, YouTube does. If you create videos using, artificial intelligence, you have no choice. You have to write that you do, and then they put it above so that people know that it's not a human who created the video. It's, say, a bot maybe, or another kind of image or video. For example, today you can create videos with AI, you can create images, you can clone people's voices, you can get avatars that are not really avatars in the sense that there are people behind them. So now there are going to be, as you said, two kinds of avatars that have humans behind them and avatars that have non-humans behind them.
Right.
So we
Right.
should know the difference. It should be transparent,
It
definitely.
absolutely should be. So you can see now in the local chat that Rhiannon is giving the weekly announcements of what's coming up. And then there'll be a little open mic. People can share different things that are coming up. And she's testing her voice, and then we'll be going on our tour. And I will point out that in the
Not sure if somebody was trying to talk, just we usually do this first part in
that's
text, but
Rhiannon.
welcome.
She's just welcoming everyone. During this first part, one thing that's really great about being in a world like this, you can use this message like you can on Zoom, except you can do that in the Zoom chat, except here we're all in a shared space. You know, when you're looking at me through a screen, you know I'm not with you. Hi, I'm not with you. I'm thousands of miles away. But in this shared space here, I can sit by who I want to sit by. There's been a lot of times where an avatar will come and sit by someone or it's much more mentally that you are in a place together. That is a fact. We're in this space together and we are here every Friday. We have many memories of it. So let's see if she's going to help me. She's going to send out that. So that's great. Okay. You can also see, just if you're not familiar with the tools that you can use in the metaverse. You're in a real space with real people and you can share messages to real groups. Here, these groups are all saying, starting now, we have our MOOC session with Voijt, the Virtual Education Journal. So you're not just sending something out in an email or a text, you're sharing it to communities, real communities that meet together. There's power in that. And I like to say there's two kinds of ways to curate and share content virtually. One is disposable and one is sustainable. This is a sustainable place. We come here every week. It's not disposable. You don't just scroll and delete. So I think it's important to kind of think about what's the purpose of this place? Why are all these people sitting here as avatars? This is the virtual world's MOOC. So, we can talk about why would you want to be in a virtual world over being on Zoom or sharing on the many, many apps that we can share on.
Those were great points. I think that in the future, we'll be able to not only come on as an avatar, we could have that choice, but also with our real faces, with our cameras open so that you could see, my face sitting there rather than my avatar. And I think
Families
that would be a
across
choice.
Washington.
To Second Life, just letting you know
I'm gonna
that
share the YouTube video. Sorry
we
about that
are doing this
sound.
first part in text.
Okay.
And then, but this is what voice will sound like. And then we'll hop into voice just about 9 a.m. Okay. But feel free to, if you've got questions,
Okay.
feel free to put them in chat. And also, if you want to introduce yourself with whatever you feel comfortable, if you just came in, we usually do that in the beginning here too.
That was Joyce just welcoming people. And I just put the live stream link in Second Life for those that might need it. Okay. And you can see there's still more I call them blasts. A little shout out to a community. Starting now, we're going to go to the summer party at Voijt. There are many educational groups. And I like to say, as a virtual world librarian, I help people find their communities and niches. You can find a group for, say, law or science or history or art or a music lovers group. There's communities for all kinds of interests in virtual environments. Okay, so let's.
It kind of reminds me of groups in Facebook, but then you're not really there because only your name is, but it's not the same. Like you said, this is a real world, a virtual world, so to speak. And I think this is maybe something that, Facebook tried to do with the metaverse and didn't succeed with everyone. Only with businesses, by the way.
Right, right. Yeah, there are, we explore the metaverse with a group called the VR Exploders. I've been to every world out there, and I will have to say Second Life is still the number one place to be in the metaverse. But there are advantages to some. Some are cheaper. Some, we go with headsets and without headsets. I do need to give Lucena the information she needs about an upcoming event, so I'll show you that too. Engagement Clinic Class 9 is coming on Sunday, so I'll give that to her. She probably has it, but just in case, you can share note cards and information to many groups, all through your interface. All the tools you need are right here in the interface. Okay, and I probably need to put who I am in the chat. You can see there are people now beginning to share who they are. Cooper Swizzle, who did the Cave of Lascaux on the MOOC, he's here today. And then we have Roxie, the editor of the Virtual Education Journal. So I'll take the opportunity to send an IM to Roxie to see if there's anything she needs. You can be behind the scenes talking. Okay. I'll just let her know that we're using voice on Zoom. So if she talks when we get there, everyone will hear her. So this is Roxie. She's the editor of the Virtual Education Journal. Today she's dressed in her beach attire for the summer beach party. And I see some people are. Rhiannon is saying the Nonprofit Commons in Second Life is a program sponsored by Avicon and governed and funded. If you want to help support, she gives some information about Avicon, the Nonprofit Commons, their social media links and things like that. I'll also mention that the Nonprofit Commons offers free office space to nonprofit organizations. There's a form that people can fill out, and it's a great way to network and learn about virtual environments and have your own little space to do that is purposeful. And I'll put that in the chat in Zoom as well, just so that if you know someone that has a nonprofit and is very interested in virtual worlds, it's a great opportunity. There's the form. And Elizabeth is asking, am I using Firestorm? Yes, I'm using Firestorm here in Second Life. You can see there now the mountains have rezzed. I love the beautiful mountain scene around the Nonprofit Commons to give it this realistic feel that we're all in a real place. Let's see who else is talking here. Rhiannon is reminding us that we meet every Friday at 8:30 Pacific time. Second Life runs on Pacific time, which for a lot of virtual worlds is called grid time. All the open sim worlds use Pacific time as their main grid time because Second Life began in California, which is Pacific time. And now we're hearing a few things upcoming. We have today, Roxie at Voijt. Next week, we have Lear Lobo on inspiration and meaning. Then we have on 8/29, the 18th anniversary of NPC. Can you believe this group has been meeting here for 18 years? Then we have a lot of openings. If you know anyone who would like to present for this great audience on topics of interest for nonprofits or education, you can make a proposal. There's a lot of openings between September 5th and October 17th. On October 24th, and this is hot off the press, it was just submitted yesterday, we have a session on AI called The Leprechaun and the Librarian, and that's with Roro Pillow. I'll be helping her because that's my real life daughter. Then we have on Halloween, it's open to ideas. Usually there's something going on. Last year we went to the Ray Bradbury Halloween project. It was amazing. If that comes again this year, we'll see if NPC can visit. And then in November, we will have our annual CVL, Community Virtual Library, Nonprofit Commons Community Harvest. All these communities bring what they bring to the table. What do you bring to the table in the virtual world? We harvest all of those great things that people offer, and we share that out front of the Nonprofit Commons Library. There's a huge Thanksgiving table with a turkey, and it's like a Thanksgiving feast. Rhiannon is saying she's encouraging folks who might be presenting a VW MOOC session. If you want to have a follow-up talk or share anything that came from your presentation or workshop, you could do that right here at the Nonprofit Commons. So I'm going to put the link to that in the chat for Zoom. If you know anyone from these sessions or who's doing some great work in virtual worlds, they certainly could present right here. So I'll put that in the chat in Zoom. Okay. So there's the form to get a space and the form to present. I am receiving an invitation to the party. That's the 18th anniversary. So let me show you how that works. Right here in our chat, I accept this August 29th, 2025 Nonprofit Commons 18th anniversary tea. Ooh, a tea. Accept. Okay. Now, where did it go? Well, it's in my inventory, but if I click on it, it should pop right up. Okay, and here it is. There's my invitation, Nonprofit Commons 18th Anniversary Celebration. Join us for a kaleidoscope afternoon tea for a refined and elegant experience with dainty treats, sweet friends, and butterfly wings on Friday, August 29th, starting right here at the place where we are, 8:30 a.m. with DJ Tori, a great DJ, fun to fancy tea apparel encouraged. So I think that shows you that in the virtual world, you can dress for occasions. And the clothes are very inexpensive, pennies, if not free. And so you can also dress for historical simulations, such as the Dickens Project, which I've been involved in for many years. You learn about the Victorian era, you dress like it, we have research projects on Dickens and the Victorian era. So it's not just fun and games and playing dress up. It's real learning. So when you dress the part of some of these things, it's for a purpose. Today, we're looking at it more for the fun and fancy of a celebration, but there are many educational uses for dressing your avatar, even changing your avatar completely to an animal or anything you can imagine can be done in a virtual world. Okay, and then Zinnia is talking a little bit about that. What is a tea story? Pick your favorite flavor of tea. Write a few sentences about your fondest memory at the Nonprofit Commons to connect with that tasty tea. So often there'll be an activity that ties together the experience that we're having and connect with each other. Okay. I see a message here saying those two forms that I just put in the chat, we should put those on the MOOC document. So I can do that right now. I'm going to take those two forms that I put in chat and I'll put them on the MOOC document because I have time since I'm waiting for the event to begin. Let's go in chat. This one's the form for MPC to start the process. And then we can see if it's on the MOOC document after I do this. I'm going to put it right on today's event. Okay. Okay, close that down. And then Nellie, if you want to move these somewhere else, you can. There's the first one, form to get your space. And now I'll put the one for the form to present. Go back to my Zoom chat. It's important that we find the best places to put this information for people so they can find it, and sometimes it's difficult. So for me, I try to share this MOOC document to all the educational groups over and over again before, during the MOOC, because people misplace it, they don't know where to look. Okay, so there's the two forms. Now I'll tell them that I did that. You couldn't see me do it because you're only seeing me in Zoom. Oh, totally, that's done. Okay. Okay, so during the open mic, Lucinda has just given a reminder of the engagement clinic. I didn't want to do that since I'm also sharing on Zoom. And I'm presenting this Sunday. It's called Your Learning Future. It's to carry oneself as a respectable digital citizen. We must embrace the meta-modern oscillation between the physical and virtual environments that we live in. Come for this final Engagement Clinic 101 lesson to launch your digitally engaged future in a post-truth world. This clinic has been all about having respectful, ethical debate and discourse in a world which the flyer says has gone mad. There's a lot of arguing, a lot of scroll, delete, don't listen to people. And this clinic has helped us think about respectful debate, logical argument, spotting fallacies, and being skeptical of what we find online, which is really important. Okay. Oh, and they're welcoming people. Welcome to all the folks here as part of the MOOC. So if you're just watching this live or here on the MOOC, they're saying welcome to you, and you'll get a glimpse of what happens here. Now, I do want to show you a really great feature in virtual worlds. You might wish you could do this in the physical world. Let's take Zinnia. I know she won't mind. She's completely transparent, and she does classes on your virtual identity. You can right-click on a person and see their profile. Learn about them. You can learn that she's an artist, a college instructor, all about her. You can see all the groups she's involved in. So you know if you want to go to her and talk to her about something, what she's involved in. She's been in Second Life for 17 years, 4 months. You can see all of this information right there on her profile. You can offer friendship here, and you can also send an instant message to the person. A great feature for collaborating and building a professional learning community, which I believe is essential in digital culture. You've got to have go-to people. Now here's Cooper Swizzle. And he has, it looks like a very unusual avatar. He's been working on the Lascaux Cave and did a session for the MOOC, and is working with Animesh. And I can actually show you my own profile because I know I won't mind. Here's my character, which my avatar has books on her head since I'm a librarian. Right-click, profile. And here you can see that I'm the director of the Community Virtual Library and the coordinator of the Virtual Worlds Education Consortium. You see all the groups that I'm involved in, so you can see what different things I might be of interest to you, mostly library groups, educational groups. Okay, let's see what else is going on in the chat. We still have a few minutes before we'll head to the party. Rhiannon is saying, for those who are just coming in or after the intros, feel free to introduce yourself with whatever you're comfortable sharing. Okay, and I can see here that Lucinda shared the note card, so I'll accept it. And then you can see people will get this notice about the upcoming class. So note cards, there are so many tools embedded in this interface. People often say, but it's so hard to learn. For nearly 20 years, I've been hearing about the steep learning curve. It's not any harder than Roblox. And millions of kids are in Roblox, millions and millions. In Roblox, you have to have two interfaces, one to play and one to build. It's all right here in Second Life. You don't have to learn everything. You just need to find a good professional learning community to help you. I highly recommend landing at the BWEC to find those helpers. Okay, looks like we'll be nearing the top of the hour. All right, see what they're going to ask us to do. And I will be turning my sound on in Second Life momentarily so you can hear the voice announcement as well as the live music. Rhiannon is reiterating that the Nonprofit Commons meets right here at this location, I'll pan out, every Friday at 8:30 a.m. Pacific time.
Val, maybe you can explain the blue at the top right so people understand about the setting. in
Oh, yes,
Second
and I
Life.
can take that off. This little blue thing, you can see I'm sitting here. You can choose how you want to sit. For example, in the skirt that I have on, I would like to have a nice pose. I don't want to sit in something that I wouldn't look nice in a skirt. So I'll stand up and show you. I'll demonstrate. I'll move over here and sit in the seat. Sit here. And then you see, I have my legs crossed. I don't really want to sit like that. So I'll go to this one and change my pose. And you can see different people have different poses where they're sitting. And a lot of personalization of your avatar and how you choose to represent yourself in the virtual environment. I'll take that blue off just so the screen's not so cluttered. There you go. And you can see I get notices up here. You'll get reminders of events only for the groups that you choose to get reminders from. Okay. Once a month, this group has a common ground networking party so that we can visit other communities. And Beth Ghostraven is sharing that the next common ground for September is going to be in Caledon, Victoria City. Caledon was one of the first communities I ever went to. It's a Victorian steampunk themed region, and the color will be blue. So the Nonprofit Commons likes to share these monthly event parties called the Common Ground Networking, and there's always a color, which is fun because you see all the people dressed in a color, and it just provides more ways to interact and express yourself live across the globe. Looking on the chat, see if I've missed anything. Okay, and if you come into Second Life and you can't find me, search for Val Librarian and I can give you a teleport and offer friendship. Rhiannon is saying a lot of times supporting each other and learning together are the foundations of these meetings and the Nonprofit Commons in general. And the leaders of the Nonprofit Commons, both Rhiannon and also Lear, very high-tech savvy. We've learned so much about evolving AI tools, about all kinds of different technology tools, sessions on just tech applications for video and images and editing and all kinds of technology can be learned right here at NPC. And you don't have to learn it all at once. You can network with these people and get little mini lessons to learn at your own pace. Okay, and a new person is sharing about a great art museum that they have. So it's a great place to share high quality simulations that we might not be aware of. And at the VWEC, the Community Virtual Library is working on a directory, databases of communities, regions, avatars for education. So people can find what they want in the metaverse as it evolves. And it is evolving. Kids are already there. I'll zoom in on Zri just to show you the creativity of avatars. Zri is always a bird, but this bird can change colors. I've seen him be a giant golden bird or a teeny tiny red bird or whatever it is he's expressing. So it just kind of shows you the creativity that one can have. And it's a digital identity. I know when Zri is here, the bird flies in. All right, we're moving to our featured part. I'll be quiet
I'll
now.
move into voice here too. So hello, everybody. And Roxie, do you want to come up and say anything about the VJ issue before we hop away?
So hello, everyone. I hope you can hear me. I didn't check my voice before I came down here, but that's okay. It's a very exciting day for us at Virtual Education Journal because after a very long time, since February, we finally got Veg out. If you have been talking to me or whatever, or if you read my editorial, you'll realize that we had several things going on in real life that kept us from getting it out, but it is finally out, 164 pages. And we have articles that we couldn't put in because it was so long, because we just kept gathering them. And so those will come out in the summer issue, which we're hoping to start working on the 20th, with the goal of having the summer issue out by the end of August. So at least the very first part of September, but our goal is to have it out in August. But this one we're very excited about. Our theme was digital legacy, and so you'll see a lot of that throughout the issue, as well as some other really great articles. But shout out to Val and to Val for doing the Memorial Garden tours. She took a big lead in that one, and that was a huge piece of what we did for the digital legacy. We also have some great issues by a lot of people. Lear Lobo did a wonderful article, as did, gee, I'm going to space on everybody's names, but we have some, Kim Starr is sitting here from Kitely and Wolf Territories. She's got a couple articles in here. One, a legacy article on the fashion icon Gino, as well as Greg Legendary, who is a very famous person in Open Sims, as well as the Island Sims of Antiquity. So when Kim and I went to his funeral, because he passed away back, I think in March, February, March. Anyway, it's the first time I'd ever been to Antiquity, and we met Prince Chacon. And so we have a great article on the role play sim of Antiquity that I think you're gonna love. One of my favorite people of all times is Pookie Amsterdam, and Pookie has done a brilliant article for us at the beginning of the issue on Veg this time, highlighting her new series, Neon Spy Girl. So that's worth taking a look at. It's all AI generated, and it's amazing what she is able to do with Neon Spy Girl. So I think you're gonna like that. We have some of our great friends who unfortunately passed away. And so we have Lucinia, who wrote a great article on Dancers Joe. We have a tribute to Mel Burns, who passed away not too long ago, and just a whole lot more. I don't want to take a lot. And Gentle Heron did an article for us. It's like Joyce Bentoncourt did one on Notebook. I mean, I'm I feel like I'm standing up at the Oscars and I'm trying to thank everybody for what they've done. And I know I'm going to forget somebody, but just because it's as BJ's saying in the background, just because it's 164 pages. But what I always tell people is we couldn't do this without the help of everyone else, and you make Veg what it is. So a special shout out and thank you to all of our people who are contributors to this issue. And if you would like to, I'm going to drop this in. So here it is again, just so you can grab it, a copy of the issue and see it. But I'm also going to let you know that our next issue coming out, we hope by the end of August, is Traverse the Metaverse. So we're going to be exploring not only how you can traverse around the metaverse in Second Life, but also out in Open Sims, so Wolf Territories, Kitely, and maybe some of the other ones as well. So if anyone would like to submit an article, if you can get it to me no later than August, I'd like them August 20th, but no later than August 22nd. And just let me know if it's coming later than August 20th so we can save a spot for it in our journal. Would love to hear from anyone who's got something else to share, because again, this is our way of archiving the great work that's happening all across the metaverse. And so we're very happy to have that. And I just saw that Dana is here. And so I wanted to shout out to her too, because she did a great job with the Mayan article. Anyway, there's just Jenna Ball did Legacy and Pixels. I can't go through them. So I'm going to quit while I'm ahead and just apologize to other people if I didn't give a shout out, but just know that this is chock full of a lot of great articles, and we're so proud to be able to put it out. So the other piece is because we wanted to do just a fun party at Veg and get people over there. We have a splash party today, River Splash. So that's why I'm sitting here in my swimsuits, and we would love to have you hop on over to Waterstone. Our headquarters is there, but I think you're going to end up landing at the rivers, and then you can walk back if you're so inclined. But we have some food, so pizza, whatever, drinks. We have floaties and jet skis, and so we hope that you'll come and enjoy the party. And DJ Xenon Darrow is going to do the honors of the party, of DJing. So I just put in Waterstone, and just to let everybody know, the party's starting right now. So we hope you will hop on over to Veg, even if you don't have your swimsuit on. Come and just enjoy the party and have fun dancing with us, because we'd love to see you over there. I don't know if anybody has any questions. Otherwise, let's hop on over to the party and network.
Quick question. You can hear
Sure.
me, right?
Yes.
So what is the theme for the next issue if folks are going to submit?
It's Traverse the Metaverse. In other words, hypergridding around the metaverse, because we're trying to bring in people from the Open Sims, but also it's traveling around in Second Life. And we always do articles that aren't related to the theme, as you'll see in this issue as well. So anything that you would like to share is great, but the theme is Traverse the Metaverse.
Great.
Great.
And
it looks like Val wants to say something.
Yeah. Before we go, I just wanted to say, when we get there, sorry, my mic's on and you heard me typing, but I need it on for Zoom. My sound is going to Zoom. The people on Zoom, and there's quite a few there, are going to hear the music. I'm camming around all of you. So I will be sharing the chat. And this is an opportunity to let people outside of Second Life get a glimpse in to a summer party. So feel free to share, and I will be sharing a bit on Zoom. So, and I also wanted to be sure you saw in the chat, this Veg issue on digital legacy, beautiful issue. I haven't read the whole thing. It came out in the middle of the night, but the part on the Thinkerer, Selby Evans, he has not passed away. There might be some confusion there. That is a tribute. He's no longer in the metaverse, hasn't been in over a year and a half, but he's still with us. And this tribute is for him because he's very much missed in the metaverse. So just to clarify. All right, Roxie, take us away.
Okay, so once again, Val, thank you for that clarification. And she's right, it did come out. It actually came out yesterday, but we were doing some still technical stuff behind the scenes. We had some trouble with fonts and who knows what. But anyway, it's out. It's we're very, very proud of it. And right now, let's go celebrate the fact that it's out. So once again, here's the link to Waterstone, and we'll see you over there. Thank you.
Right, so I'm gonna stand up and the people on Zoom can see me teleport over.
Can you share the
And for
slurl,
those going
Val,
away, even,
please?
you know, dances are great, or even those in Zoom, dances are great to kind of network and chat. So like certainly, you know, where avatars will be dancing, but you can continue to talk about any of this stuff.
So Val, can you share the slurl
Yes.
in Zoom? So anyone who
Yes.
wants to drop by and start dancing or see what it's like.
Yes, I'm gonna copy the slurl in Zoom
There it
and
is.
put it in the Zoom chat. Here it comes. Okay. The slurl to Waterstone, which is the headquarters of the Virtual Education Journal. So meet you there.
I'll hold up the rear.
Thank you. Okay, and you can see sometimes there's a glitch when an avatar is resing. We call it resing when the resolution forms. And I'll cam away because sometimes depending on the kind of avatar they have, it may look like they're wearing nothing. So, you know, there's ways to there's a learning curve with really realistic avatars to wear an alpha layer where your clothes don't disappear. Now look at this. We've got a whole beach party to attend. Palm trees, a river. And food.
And you can also swim. I mean, the avatars can swim.
Lucena is already out there. Look at her go. Is that a jet ski? Yep, there she goes. I see you, Nellie. Getting in the water. Floats.
I'm getting in with my clothes on. Well, the avatar's clothes, because that's okay, right?
Oh, sure.
There, I'm not going to get wet anymore because I'm on a floater.
There goes Cooper on a jet ski. And Beth, who's a clothing designer in Second Life, she strives to create professional clothes. She said in the chat, if anyone doesn't have a swimsuit, she has some. So let's just see the chat. She has 2 swimming suits. It's a group gift this month if you want one. So educators are very
great.
generous in Second Life.
That's great. And also I'm here too, and Val, if anybody has questions that you want to relay about
Oh,
NPC or anything else that we talked about.
great. I'll let the people in Zoom know. If you have a question, ask now and I will get these avatars here to answer it for you. Rhiannon's here to give us any answers to questions that we might have. I'm just camming around and showing the variety of ways that you can move your avatar around and interact with objects. There's a dance ball. Wait a second, I'm not hearing any music. I better turn this up. I didn't even think about that. There we go.
Can lower the music if it's too loud for you on Zoom.
There's a swim res sign you can touch to swim. So I try it even though I don't have on a swimsuit. Let's go for it.
I'm in there.
Okay. Here I go, I'm swimming. And then when I want to stop, I hit the stand. And, whew. I'm still underwater. Now, if you get trapped, say underwater, you can always sit on something and that will get you out. There we go. Now I'm comfy.
Hey everybody, don't forget we have inner tubes, we have jet skis. Come on out, be wherever you're comfortable. Just enjoy the music.
And I said it in chat as well. But I find these sort of situations too are also good times to take photos or little video clips of like many avatars interacting and hanging out in world. So take some fun photos too.
I'm hearing on Zoom, this is the first time that some of the people on Zoom have ever had a glimpse into Second Life. So I'm sure it can be a bit overwhelming to see the huge interface and all the tools. But as I said, you don't have to learn all of it. You just learn as you go what it is you want to do. I will show how to take a photo. You can see the little camera icon. And I just touch it, and there's a photo. And then I can save it, either to Second Life inventory or to my computer. I saved it to my computer. Okay, I'm turning off my voice in Second Life so as not to disrupt the party. Because I
How about
realized
showing how to dance.
how to dance. Sure. Okay.
How's
Okay,
an
now they
avatar
can't
dance?
they can't hear me, but okay. I'm gonna walk over here so you can see that I'm right under the dance ball. Here's the dance ball. Now I'm gonna click it, click to dance. I touch it, and it says the hybrid dance machine would like to animate your avatar. Okay, I'll get by my avatar, you can see. I say yes. Now I get to pick. I want to dance a singles dance just by myself, not as a couple. And I want it to be a female dance. And some of them get a little wild for me, but that's okay. You can pick. You can slow your dance down, make it faster. I'll try, let's see. I'll try dance 5. Just see what that looks like. Here we go. I'm dancing. What's really fun is when you get a group dance and you're all dancing together. And you sort of get this sense that you're all in it together and you're actually working together. It's an interesting simulation experience. So you can see that just like in the physical world, some people might choose to sit and gather or get in small groups or do something more active like the hula hoop, the floaties.
Do folks in Zoom have any other questions we can answer?
Did you hear that, Nellie? They're wondering if you have any questions in Zoom. I'm following the chat. Anything at all. Now's your opportunity.
Well,
What-
we've got people saying that this is the first time, but I don't see any questions.
Right.
Maybe everyone's overwhelmed. Could that be it?
Or if you have any Yeah, question about my screen even. You know, what's on this screen and what you can do. You can gather in, I have many, many landmarks to educational places. Just a snap of the finger away, you just teleport to them. So there's, you know, this is unusual. I don't go to a lot of dance parties, but because Veg just came out, it's the end of summer. This is just one thing you could possibly do in Second Life. Okay.
Maybe you can talk about how they develop these things, building and getting all the food and the carts and everything. How is this done in Second Life?
Yes. Yes. You can learn to build any of these things yourself. People can build houses, carts, food, little bottles, anything. You build them out of what's called prims. And a prim is a small 3D object. It's right here in the window. Let's see. Up here at the top of my window, where I go to world, I can't build here, I don't believe, but you would go to, there's a build tool, and you just click on the ground and you can build it, anything at all. Then to make it do something, you have to script. You put a script inside and that controls what you do. For example, I'll go over and get some food. So let me stop dancing. Okay, stop. Okay, now I'm gonna walk over to the food and I'll get some food to show you. Objects are scripted so that you can do something with them. See what kind of food we have over here. Or maybe I'll go over here and sit by Ellie. And looks like this is a nice little bar area. Now, this is a person I know and work with all the time, so I'm going to sit by her, just like I would in the physical world. Okay, so I'm sitting by Ellie. What is it here? Let's see. What are these cool ice cream cones? That looks kind of tasty. Okay, ice cream flavor. Let me get a lime one. Okay. Yes, I want a lime ice cream. Around here. Oh, I guess I accidentally clicked on my sushi first. I'm eating sushi. So it depends on where you sit, what you click, and you can interact with many objects. And there's a lot to interact on at this party. Okay, so I'll stand up and I'll come over here and I'll try that lime again. Now I've got my lime ice cream cone. I was sitting down eating sushi first. So you can see you attach things to your avatar. There are animations that look like you're eating it. There are animations for many, many different things that your avatar can do. But the building is probably the most important skill for educators because you can build. I've seen simulations that show you how to do things with science, for example, like a model of the human eye, how the lens works. One of my favorite examples is entering the human brain and seeing all the parts of the brain, the hippocampus, the amygdala, the front cortex. And you can go in and see it, and you're in it, and it lights up, and then you see what it does. So you can't do that in a classroom. You can see a picture of the human brain, but you can't go inside it with an educator that can explain it. So building is probably a really important skill for educators. Other questions? What are you seeing here that you might want to know? I can turn the music down even lower. They're also putting the Veg Journal in the local chat again, since Veg just came out. And if you are interested in learning more about virtual worlds, that magazine called Veg is a good start. And people can submit articles. Perhaps something about the MOOC, an overview of this MOOC. Be a great another place to put the MOOC out there for people to read and
I
share.
think she added it.
Oh, it's in there, this
Yeah, it's in
issue?
there.
Great. I haven't read the whole thing since it just came out.
Maybe you can explain what it feels like for an avatar. In other words, we're watching at a distance, even though I'm down there and you're down there. But being in Zoom and in Second Life at the same time doesn't feel the same. But if you're
Right.
just in Second Life, how does your avatar feel? How do you feel as the person
Right. And it's, having been there a number of years, I'm the same person in the physical world and the virtual. There's absolutely no difference. I'm not a gamer or a role player. I'm standing by stranger right here. He's been to many, many events. I know him well. And he often changes and has many avatars. So I can walk around by people that I know. I can walk over here. I'm going to walk over where Gentle is, who is the leader of Virtual Ability, an amazing region that helps people with physical disabilities in the virtual world. And think about that. People with physical disabilities, they can walk here, they can dance here, they can fly, they can do things in their mind that they cannot do in the physical world. She also helps people with low vision, hearing loss, and she helps all of us as educators make our simulation more accessible to people who have disabilities. And at one session, I really liked what she said, and I like to quote this. Someone said, well, but I don't really need to go there. I don't have a disability. And she said, yes, you don't have a disability yet. If we live long enough, we all have a disability. Sooner or later, my elderly mom can't hear. She has hearing aids. She needs a walker. So thinking about that accessibility is really important, and a virtual world is a great place to explore that. At the Student Challenge, accessibility is a piece, and the students in one of the universities built a playground that was completely accessible for people in wheelchairs with different disabilities, and it was this beautiful playground. So it's a place to explore real world concepts like climate change, disabilities, just anything you can think of in the physical world that's either an issue or a problem or difficult, like an emergency evacuation. I've been to a fire, learning how to rescue someone from a fire. You can't practice that in the physical world, but you can here. So there are many uses for simulations, certainly beyond a party. I usually don't even attend parties, but this happened to come along during the MOOC. So I'll walk around again. But speaking of parties, here's Dana, who loves music and is also part of the music library. And she knows some DJs. The DJ we have today is out there in that yellow circle. It's Xenon. She's playing the music for us today. So people have different skills they bring, whether it's music or art or they're going to teach. We partner with Builders Brewery at the Virtual World Education Consortium. That's a group that for free will help you learn anything about building and scripting and all the things here. I know a lot of people like to use Blender and Unity and other 3D building tools. And we can partner with people who want to learn that as well. But you don't have to learn Unity or Blender to be in Second Life. Anyone can do it without learning any outside skills. Where else should I walk and show you something? So I'm walking along the beach, and you can see, we're at the Voijt headquarters, so I'll zoom in. This is the latest issue of Voijt. It's a cover. There's a deck up here. And not too far from here is the Voijt headquarters. Let me see if I can cam into it. I'm down the road from it, I think. Just cam out and see if I know where it is. Yeah, I see it. Here's the Voijt headquarters. I'll zoom in. Virtual Education Journal. That's the headquarters in Second Life here at Waterstone. So many people build physical buildings that sort of replicate the work they're doing. You wouldn't need to, but it really makes the simulation more realistic if we can make it something identifiable in our mind. That's why I work at the Community Virtual Library, and it looks like a real library, because a virtual library that's just a flat web page, it just puts the information is all you're there for. You're not there for community, for a sense of presence. In a library, you're there for that. And in this space here, we have a sense of presence that we're together. And I know these people. And you will get to know people not in a disposable way or just in a acquaintance way. You cannot possibly know 3,000 people online really well. But you can form real friendships when you're in a world that has community and connection and real spaces. on a deeper level than you can just on the web. So I'm looking on, oh good, I see a little bit of chat going on here. Questions about the inner, oh, where do we get the swimsuits that Ghost Raven is offering? Well, you need to go to her and I'll cam in on her. Beth loves tiny avatars. They're very cute. Let me zoom in on her. This is Beth. She's this little dancing bunny with a carrot and an inner tube. Oh, that carrot's actually the inner tube's nose. It's a looks like it's maybe a crane. Okay, that little bunny is Beth. So if you're in Second Life, we can IM her and ask her for the swimsuit. So let me see in chat. That's Elizabeth. Elizabeth, are you in Second Life? Because I can certainly make you able to get the swimsuit in Second Life.
Just so everyone is aware.
It's juggling my
Yes,
two
she is. She's Apollonia.
Oh, Apollonia, how did I not know that was your name? Okay, my screen kind of froze here, so I'm moving all around. There we go. Yes, Apollonia, let me find you here in Second Life and I'll help you get it. Okay. Okay. All right, so they're asking if you got the link to Veg. Let me zoom in on Apollonia. And one way to do that, if you have a lot of people around you, you can look at nearby people. There she is. And you can zoom in. Okay, I can't zoom in that way. I have to look at her as a friend. Okay, so I'll look at my friends. I believe Apollonia is a friend. I'm not able to zoom in on her right now, so I'll just cam around. Or I could offer an IM to tell her that. I'll see you, Apollonia. Okay. Let's just IM her. Right click, IM. We can ask Beth for a swimsuit. So you can see I'm just interacting right here. So there's Apollonia. Right. And then I'm going to also IM Beth. And I'll say, Apolliana. Okay, sorry. Would like a swimsuit. So Beth, let's IM her. I right click on Beth. IM. Apolliana would like a swimsuit. Can you get her one? Okay. Beth already gave them to me. Okay, she's ahead of it. Great. I'll tell Beth thanks. So you can IM people and then they will drop you things. And that's how you would get that. Also, quite often, there are boxes that you click on and you can find all kinds of free things. For a number of years, I just only got free things. I never bought anything. You do not have to spend any money to be an educator in Second Life. I never had I finally got my own premium account because now I have a region called the Digital Citizenship Outpost. But for many years, I spent no money in Second Life at all. So I like to tell teachers that because I love open source free. You don't want to spend money learning all these tools that you may not want to actually use for a long period of time. You don't have to spend any money in Second Life. Oh, another thing that Joyce shares that is useful, she is really knowledgeable about Google LM and also about AI. Google Notebook LM. So those kinds of tools, the Nonprofit Commons can help you master and learn about the latest apps and which ones, how to use them. Of course, you can explore those things on your own, but it's really great to explore them with a community because who has the time on their own to, you can't possibly be everywhere. Okay, let's see if there's any more. Yes, and Apolliana is saying it's very difficult to go between Zoom and Second Life. Tell me about it. I'm sharing my screen in Zoom. I'm panning around in Second Life, but I'm really comfortable with both tools. So I think the main thing that I would say to educators about that is don't worry about making a mistake. It is not going to be perfect. Just when you finally get it perfect and you're really good at Second Life and you're really good at Zoom, there's going to be a tech glitch.
When
Like what happened to Nellie. She's got great internet, great graphics card, but then her Mac iOS wouldn't work with the voice. So I mean, there's always going to be a tech glitch. And that's part of 21st century literacy. You just have to be okay with it and not have to be perfect. So yes, it's a lot of just, I like the way Alvin Toffler said it. He has this great quote, and he said this in 1985, predicting the future of digital literacy. He said, the illiterate of the 21st century will not be those who cannot read and write, but those who cannot learn, unlearn, and relearn. So reading and writing are the foundation of literacy, but they are not literacy anymore. That you build upon that, and literacy is constantly changing. You have to learn, unlearn, and relearn. That's digital literacy, and that's where we live. So don't think you can master it. It's difficult. It's just going to change. Just be comfortable with glitches. Be comfortable with it. And I think the thinkerer, Selby Evans, taught me that. He would make a video. He didn't care if it was perfect. Just share it. And one time I accidentally, I so messed up the library and returned all of these objects. It was a complete mess, and it was on his region. And Second Life fixed it. And what the thinkerer said when I told him what I had done, he said, "You did the right thing. I have made worse mistakes." We all make mistakes in digital culture. Get used to it and don't feel bad. Any other questions in the chat? Yes, I see the chats. Oh, I look deformed. Now there's a good question. That happens. Okay, I want to see you deformed, Juliana. Oh, no, okay, she's editing her appearance. Awesome. There are, your avatar can be complex, especially if you have alpha like she has right now, where she's invisible in part. And then there are tools that will help you get undeformed, and there are people to help you. I had someone help me with my really old 2007 avatar to upgrade to a mesh one. And that's why we need a professional learning community. If you come into the info center at VWEC, we'll help find you a mentor, someone who's good at clothes, if you want to upgrade your avatar, or someone who can help you learn to build, or someone that can help you find the community that you need because you're teaching a certain kind of subject. For me, I teach digital citizenship, digital literacy, meta literacy, and I was very impressed with Dr. Let's see if she's in the chat today. The session on digital literacy that I went to this week. I want to connect with that person.
Dr.
Yes,
Kiran.
yes,
Here.
Dr. Kiran. We teach the same thing. I have a whole region here on digital literacy, digital citizenship, meta literacy. And it's like, I want to network with people that want to learn that, because there's so much out there on it. You just get lost, and you can't, teachers are just overwhelmed. They don't have a curriculum to teach it. And all the tools that I've been collecting for the past 15 years or so on digital legacy, they're all changing right now because of AI. So we can't keep up with that, but together we can. We can pool our efforts. That's why I'm in Second Life at the Virtual World Education Consortium. So I hope to maybe network about that.
Val,
Yes.
are there still folks in Zoom?
Yes.
Do they have any questions or want us to answer anything or chat about anything?
Okay, I'll turn my voice on in Second Life to tell them.
Val's still.
Oh yes, I'm still here. I've been talking in Zoom. Let me just walk over here. I've been walking around showing them avatars, talking about how you can drink, how you get a drink, how you dance, how you swim, and then how you get Beth's swimsuit. Juliana here is demonstrating how difficult it is to get dressed, and talking about I look deformed, and we're talking about how you can find people to help you. You know, you can't just master this in one day. We've been talking a lot about, you need help. You need a professional learning community. And that's what this is. Help in getting dressed. I needed help upgrading to a mesh avatar. My old avatar looked like 2006, and it's like I couldn't master it without the help of some others. And so that's what we've been talking about and so if you have anything, those of you that are in Second Life, to say about that, finding a mentor, getting the help you need when you first get here. So this party was a good way to just zoom around and talk about that.
Well, that's good. I don't, is Beth still here? I mean, obviously, Beth, I'd like to put in kind of a nod to the fact that you don't have to wear a mesh avatar if you don't want to. There are some folks, certainly myself included. And Beth has a whole clothing store that is for the sort of classic avatars, which are a little easier in many ways for new folks, because the getting dressed and things can be a little complex with many mesh objects and easy to accidentally remove something. So there is that way too. But I agree that a community of folks is always the best to be able to ask questions of or explore with. So
Thank you. And I zoomed in on your avatar to show the classic avatar can still look great and professional. So, avatar identity is, and that's kind of Zinnia's forte, that, it's you are your avatar. That's your representation. So, it's a kind of a learning curve, but you can have a simple one and you can develop it, or you can just leave it simple. It's up to you. Marley likes the classics because you can design, like she designed this outfit herself rather than buying it in a shop. And people who love to design things, and look, she's an artist. It's an artistic design that she made herself. So you express yourself through your avatar.
I don't know if you heard that, Marley, but often you have voice too.
Yes, I heard it. Thank you.
And there are a lot of people I would love to explain what all of them do. There's so many creative and diverse perspectives here. Museum curator here, Brian, has done many sessions for NPC, has some great museums in Second Life. I've cammed in on, Gentle to talk about virtual ability and just some of you and what Second Life has to offer for nonprofits, for educators, for so many things. And I think the people in Zoom are, it's kind of overwhelming when you've never been in.
Yeah, certainly. And that whole, if there is anybody in Zoom that is kind of on that creative side of things, as Val's camming around, I think the other big thing to realize about like this or like Open Simulator, or you could even say the same thing about like Minetest or Minecraft, like everything you see here is built by some other user. Everything that everybody is wearing, everything that is how an avatar might look, all of that are built by users. So that really is that big creative piece, even if you yourself aren't creating content, that somebody here is doing this. So it's very open and free form, which is very different than if like you're just used to, say, if they're using games for learning or other things. Many games you're kind of working around the system to be able to still do those learning or educational content related things. Here you can build or have somebody build for you what you want. So if you want a specific thing, if you want, if we were going to, at the beach that we're standing on now, say we wanted to do like a little, breakout virtual metal detectors and start like combing the beach for objects we could find, we could do that, right? Or if we wanted to, go on some other adventure like that, you could create the content, do the things, and be able to kind of explore and make those things as you want them. So that free form, open, anything that you want. And that in itself is worth the learning curve and the funniness sometimes of how it may seem very daunting in the beginning to do, right? So
Yes, that's a really great point. And so many people here are doing this out of the passion of what their area of interest is, and they're willing to share and help. So you'll get a lot of help when you network with people here. And I saw that Zinnia was talking about how she designs apparel here, as well as quite often the same kinds of fabrics in the physical world. So artists can create a physical world piece of art and the same thing imported into the virtual world.
And that's a great place to start. I mean, upload a texture of your own art, put it on an object. I don't think, and whose is this? Is this yours? This is your, do you have domain over this space, Val? You could just res a prim and show them how easy it is to just build.
I don't think I do. This is Roxie's area. Let me just, I don't think I shouldn't have any. No, I can't create here. Let me just check. Nope.
Yeah. Roxie, res a prim.
Yeah, you want to show us? I'd love to show on camera because I was talking about how you learn to build and that all the tools are in the interface. And, you know, Extremely powerful way to use 3D and dig into not only structures that we already know the meaning, but how we feel about things. Marley being also very into psychology.
And
Oh, I can put
music
the-
as well. Don't forget, we have.
Oh, and music. Yes, Marley is a musician. She's the namesake of the CVL Music Library. I'll put the MOOC schedule in the local chat in case anybody doesn't have it. I've got it right here at my fingertips. So you can see when Marley's session is coming up. There it is.
I think another wonderful thing about virtual worlds is that nobody really knows your age. You're ageless, which is, something that you actually feel. And this has been researched that if you, go back in time to a younger version of yourself, you're actually adding years to your life and you're in a better position, health-wise, physically wise, and brain wise. So, having these young
Ageless in
avatars-
SL, yes, yeah. That's the funny thing. Like even my avatar, right? Obviously, I said it was a system avatar. I made this shape now 20 years ago, right? Crazy to think that 20 years ago. So I age, but she doesn't. The avatar doesn't. Yeah, it's a very funny thing.
Yes.
It would be interesting. Oh, go on.
Oh, as you said that, I was thinking about how when you meet someone in the physical world that you know in Second Life, you know them by their avatar, but their avatar somehow really represents their essence, because every time that's happened to me, I feel like I know them and they're just like their avatar. It's something about their essence that comes through in the way they express themselves with their avatar. So I think Nellie's right. It's you're ageless, but it's the real you, not just, whether you're, have a limitation with your physical body.
Well, that's the thing, as
Yes,
a
the inner you
person,
doesn't think about how old you are.
exactly. The real you benefits from this.
It would
the
be
real you
interesting. So the
benefits.
folks who have not, say, explored virtual worlds like this, like, do they have they like explored any other like game spaces, or has it been mostly kind of online learning? Like, it'd be interesting to kind of know that.
Good question for the people in Zoom. If you heard Rhiannon ask, how many of you have been in virtual worlds or other online spaces? Or if you're educators, where do you teach? Online platforms? Type it in the chat and I'll let them know in Second Life.
I thought she was hearing me. I thought she was actually here because she was kind of, relating to what I was saying.
Yes, I typed in the Second Life chat what you're saying, Nellie. I'm trying to let both groups.
Yeah, because I hadn't noticed that. Yeah.
Yeah. And while you're typing in Zoom, where you teach, where you learn, have you been in virtual worlds? I got to zoom in on Stranger because I told you that he always has a different avatar that fits where we're going for history. And today, look, he's a beach bum. Now, that's a great beach bum avatar. So you can some people keep their avatar always the same, but I think Stranger really shows that you can use it to just go with wherever you are. So I find that very interesting. Great beach bum, stranger.
Yeah, I'll have to get that article on, on your avatar's age and how it actually helps you at whatever age you are. If you're older, you'll feel younger, with your avatar. So it kind of helps you out.
Putting that in local chat in Second Life so they know Nellie's talking about having a younger avatar really does help your brain because it makes you sort of identify with not getting old and your limitations. And Gentle is saying in the Second Life chat, one of the important things for educators to know is how accessible Second Life is to people with a wide range of disabilities. So that I don't think a lot of people realize that, and that's an important thing to bring out. I mentioned it earlier to the people in Zoom.
And then Kim mentions that it was God sent during the pandemic.
Yeah, but Buffy was adding how even just those, whatever the reasons you might be at home, I would like to say too, like the learning or educational things or building together in these spaces, like you can do that regardless of, of like ability or location, right? So you can have students from various places. Listen has been working on those kind of collaborative, and Ellie with those collaborative education things between Turkey and is it Ireland? And then, there's others who've done things like that in the past. When for Global Kids, we did educational projects with folks at students that were in New York City and at the Field Museum, collectively in Chicago, collectively working together with an archaeologist expert in Tanzania. So you could bring together people from many, many places and collectively work on the same thing. Nobody has to jump on a plane, and you could still walk through things together and collaborate and do things together.
And in Zoom, they are answering your question about where they teach and learn. One teaches English language to adults in person 5 hours a day, but they also use a nationally funded Moodle site and use Moodle for online activities to blend the in-person and the online learning. So Moodle, as you know, is sort of an open source learning platform. So there's teacher training through Moodle. Another is retired and used to teach English and language to kids, preteens, and adults in a binational center. And one is saying they came last year to the MOOC. That was first experience in Second Life, and she's here again today. So, and another is saying she really loves taking professional development courses. I think Second Life is great for professional development.
That's all great. And the language learning, there's quite a healthy community of folks doing language learning and learning languages in both Second Life and Open Simulator and other virtual environments, because you can again bring in native speakers from anywhere and even have folks talk to. So location doesn't matter, and you can emphasize it by creating a space that would be akin to the area or the experiences of the language you're trying to learn.
Thank you so much. I love you guys.
Yeah, well, that's the thing, you're always learning. Even if you've been to Second Life, I mean, I started in 2007, you're
Thank
still
you.
learning because things are
Yep.
changing.
For those, since we're kind of at the top of the hour, thank you for kind of coming and exploring and hanging out here and being able to chat. Thank you, Roxie, for kind of all the work you put into the Virtual Education Journal, and on such a kind of, deep topic, and especially emotionally in a lot of ways, like the legacy stuff. And and for those who worked with you at the Veg of the Veg team, and thank you, Xenon, for DJing, and for Val for straddling worlds as always.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, everyone. Thank you, Val, for narrating this and providing us with so much information. And I hope that everyone enjoyed and learned a bit more than they knew
And I also
before
want to
they
remind
came.
folks too, Nonprofit Commons, as I said, we meet weekly, and we have been, as Xenia brought up, for the last 18 years, meeting weekly every Fridays at 8:30 a.m. Pacific to 10 a.m. Pacific. So this month we are part of, like, NPC is collaborating with the VW MOOC in these ways by having, you know, workshops and presentations and these sort of networky tours. And we'll also be doing our 18th celebration as part of one of them. And then there's a couple other presentations too. So, but beyond even this month, we continue on and having these meetings. So, you know, you're always welcome to kind of come any weekend, any Friday at 8:30 to Nonprofit Commons and be able to have a group of folks who, you know, are others interested in these spaces and how they can use them for various things, whether that's education or nonprofit related things, impact support groups, all sorts of things. So, you know, thank you for everybody who kind of, thank you for those behind the scenes, Nellie, like Nellie, and all the VW MOOC folks as well for also for us being part of that this month too. So.
Thank you. All right. So thank you, everyone. We'll see you tomorrow, I guess. No, not
And then
tomorrow.
I guess Lucena is offering a teleport to folks to a next thing. But yes, I'm wrapped up here. But goodbye to all the people in Zoom too.
Thank
you.
you. Thank you. And out
Hope
to
you- hope
Zoom,
it was
the
good.
world, because whoever's watching the streaming, the YouTube stream, if you have any questions, add them in the comment box. We'd love to get your questions and we'll be happy to answer. So once again, thank you, Val. Thank you, everyone. And see you at the next session.